friends arrive in a foreign country for a vacation. The first is Ariel, who's always glued to his phone. The second is Polo, who's driving the car and thinks he's smarter than everyone else. And the third is Gringo, who's constantly confused about everything. One night, the three friends head to an underground nightclub to have some fun. There, they meet three girls, Kylie, her short-haired sister Monica, and their friend Irina, who are also visiting the country. Polo charms the girls with his smooth talking, invites them to hang out, and soon all six of them are drinking together. After some casual conversation, the strangers quickly become friends and decide to explore the city as a group. The next day, they wander around town and grow surprisingly close in just one day. Now they decide to take a lift up to the top of a mountain. The lift operator lets them in after taking payment. Polo proudly explains that the lift is more than 100 years old and can carry them to the mountaintop in no time. That night, the group returns to the same underground nightclub. They dance, drink, and enjoy themselves, while Ariel, as usual, sits alone in a corner staring at his phone. But suddenly, a terrifying earthquake hits. The ground begins splitting apart. People scream and rush toward the exits, while huge chunks of concrete and debris crash down everywhere. Right in front of Ariel, a bartender gets trapped beneath heavy rubble. Out of pure instinct, Ariel tries to save her, but during the rescue, his own hand gets severed, and the girl abandons him and runs away. Screaming in unbearable pain, Ariel desperately searches for his severed hand, while panicked people accidentally kick it around as they flee. Eventually, Monica spots the hand and picks it up. Horrified by the nightmare unfolding around them, the group somehow manages to calm Ariel down. Every exit from the club is completely blocked. Death seems inevitable when suddenly a cleaning lady approaches them. She leads them through a dark tunnel-like passage, and after climbing several stairs, they reach a manhole that opens onto the street. The woman climbs out first, but the moment she pushes open the cover and steps outside, a speeding car slams directly into her. She dies instantly in a horrifying way. The brutal sight terrifies everyone, but they have no choice except to escape outside. Once they reach the street, they realize their car has been crushed beneath massive debris. They beg passing drivers for help, but in the middle of this chaos, nobody is stopping for anyone. Meanwhile, Ariel's condition keeps getting worse because he's losing too much blood. Then suddenly, a thief grabs the bag carrying Ariel's severed hand and runs off with it. At that moment, a terrifying siren echoes throughout the city. Panic spreads everywhere. "What's happening?" Polo asks in fear. Then comes the answer, "Tsunami!" Hearing this freezes everyone in terror. They're standing at the base of the mountain, and the tsunami waves could swallow them at any second. Polo decides to take the old lift to higher ground with his friends, but a massive crowd has already gathered there. The lift only has room for 6 people. Somehow, after forcing their way through the crowd, Polo manages to get Ariel inside and promises him, "We'll come up right behind you." The 100-year-old lift begins moving upward, but this time it's carrying far more people than it can handle. Everyone is desperate to survive. But then, the ancient lift suddenly snaps under the weight and plummets straight down at terrifying speed. Polo rushes to the wreckage and looks inside. There's nothing but piles of dead bodies. Buried beneath them is Ariel. Seeing his best friend dead completely breaks Polo from the inside. Gringo somehow pulls him away, but Polo is deeply traumatized. He feels like he personally sent Ariel to his death.
We have to keep moving.
Just then, Irina screams at them to keep moving because the tsunami could hit at any moment. The 5 remaining friends continue forward with heavy hearts, but nature's fury is far from over. Another massive earthquake strikes, violently shaking the ground once again. Everyone runs toward the main road hoping to survive, but the scene there is pure chaos. Murderers are openly killing people, while looters rob anyone they can find. Monica is completely horrified after witnessing this nightmare, but Kylie encourages her to stay strong. The group runs in another direction, but this time a gang of dangerous criminals spots the girls and starts chasing them. To escape, they run into an abandoned building. But then, a third violent earthquake hits. A massive slab of rubble collapses directly onto Gringo. Everyone desperately tries to move the debris, but it's as heavy as a boulder. Polo says, "We need a car, Jack. I'll go find one." Crying in pain and fear, Gringo begs, "No, don't leave me here alone." Irina and Kylie decide to stay with him, while Polo and Monica head out into the pitch-black darkness searching for a Jack. Irina tries comforting Gringo, assuring him that everything will be okay, but he's terrified. Suddenly, Kylie signals for both of them to stay quiet. They can hear footsteps nearby. Gringo whispers, "Both of you hide." Irina replies, "We can't leave you." Crying, Gringo says, "They'll just take my money and leave." With no other choice, the two girls hide inside nearby pits. And then, the criminals arrive. Their leader walks up to Gringo, presses a gun against his head, and asks, "Where are the girls?" Trembling with fear, Gringo replies, "I don't know." Hearing this, the gang bursts into laughter. Then a heavy-set thug casually sits on top of the rubble, crushing Gringo beneath it. Gringo screams in unbearable agony. On the other side of the building, Polo and Monica were desperately searching for Jack, but there was no sign of him anywhere. Just then, they spotted a fire truck nearby. They waved frantically for it to stop, but the truck kept going and slammed straight into the rubble. Both of them rushed over and yanked open the door. Inside, 2 firefighters were severely injured. The driver was barely alive, while the other firefighter seemed to be in slightly better shape. He told Polo that after the prison collapsed, some of the city's most dangerous criminals had escaped. Moments later, the driver took his last breath, and Polo and Monica pulled the surviving firefighter out of the wreckage. Meanwhile, inside the building, the brutality had gone far beyond anything imaginable. The gang leader grabbed a bottle of liquor and dumped it all over Gringo. Then he leaned close to his face and flicked on a lighter. Terrified of the horrifying death waiting for him, Gringo completely broke down and revealed where the girls were hiding. The moment Irina heard this, she tried to run, but the boss instantly fired his gun and stopped her. Gringo burst into tears, knowing Irina had now fallen into the hands of monsters. The criminals searched for Kylie too, but she was nowhere to be found. Then the boss began attacking Irina. Watching this, Gringo tried to stop him by hurling a rock at him. Furious, the boss used the lighter to set Gringo on fire alive. Hearing Gringo's horrifying screams, Kylie shook with fear. The boss fired at her too, but somehow she managed to escape. He ordered his men to hunt Kylie down while he personally chased after her. While running through the chaos, Kylie finally ran into Monica. When Monica asked what happened, Kylie broke down crying and told her they had burned Gringo alive. After hearing that, they all decided to go back and save Irina. Inside the building, Polo had found an axe from the fire truck. Without hesitating, he brutally killed the gang leader's brother with it. Polo was trying to escape with Irina when suddenly the boss returned and immediately opened fire. The bullet struck Irina, killing her instantly. Polo, the firefighter, and the girls barely escaped alive, while the gang leader, consumed by rage over his brother's death, chased after them like a maniac. While fleeing, Polo and the firefighter reached the gate of another building, but it was locked from the inside. The firefighter begged the people inside to open it, but they refused. Defeated, they turned away, until one brave man finally unlocked the gate. But the moment he stepped forward, a terrified woman inside suddenly fired at Polo. The group quickly carried him away and kept moving. The criminals were closing in fast. The firefighter took Polo's axe and hid him behind a large metal drum so he could go look for help nearby. Alone and helpless, Polo called his father, but the call disconnected. Death was getting closer with every second. Then suddenly, his father called back. The loud ringtone exposed Polo's hiding spot, and the gang leader found him and shot him in the head. As the firefighter, Monica, and Kylie kept running, they heard the gunshot echo behind them. Soon they reached a church, but the criminals followed them inside. At that exact moment, the 4th earthquake struck. Rubble crashed down all around them. The priest opened a hidden basement entrance, and everyone rushed underground. He then showed them a passage that could lead them to safety. The firefighter climbed down first, followed by Kylie, but when the priest tried to descend, the staircase suddenly collapsed. Kylie and the priest were left dangling in midair. The priest lost his grip, fell, and died instantly. Kylie also crashed down with the broken stairs. The firefighter rushed toward her. Kylie was screaming in unbearable pain, while the priest's body lay motionless nearby. A thick metal pipe had pierced straight through her thigh. The firefighter told her, "I have to pull it out." Hearing that only made Kylie panic even more. Monica watched helplessly from above. Then, with one violent pull, the firefighter yanked the pipe out of Kylie's leg, making her scream in agony. The firefighter shouted, "Monica, get down here and help!" Monica answered, "I'm coming." Above them, she found a rope and started climbing down into the darkness. Below, the firefighter removed his jacket to stop Kylie's bleeding. Suddenly, Kylie noticed a tattoo on his hand. It was the exact same tattoo the murderous criminals had. Trembling in fear, Kylie whispered, I won't tell anyone." The firefighter coldly ordered her to stay quiet. Meanwhile, Monica climbed down using the rope. Once she reached the bottom, she called out Kylie's name in the darkness and searched for her. Then suddenly, she found Kylie's lifeless body and screamed in horror. The firefighter stepped out of the shadows and said chillingly, "Kylie's suffering is over now." Monica instantly realized the truth and ran for her life. The firefighter grabbed the axe and chased after her. Monica hid ahead in the darkness, but he found her and tried to kill her with Polo's axe. Just as he was about to strike, another earthquake hit, violently shaking the ground and knocking him over. Slowly, he got back up and started searching for the axe. But before he could react, Monica grabbed it first and drove it straight into him. Monica was completely traumatized, and then another earthquake struck again. This time, heavy debris collapsed directly on top of her. The next morning, Monica opened her eyes and somehow crawled out from beneath the rubble. Alone, she slowly walked forward until she saw a massive blue ocean stretched out before her. Monica smiled with relief because somehow, against all odds, she had survived. She laughed for a brief moment in victory, but then memories of everyone's horrific deaths flooded back into her mind, and she broke down crying uncontrollably. Monica slowly started walking back toward the city, but an even greater challenge was now waiting for her, one no one could truly escape from. Friends, one thing is absolutely true. Natural disasters can strike at any moment in any form and leave unimaginable destruction behind. But it's also true that during disasters like these, some people reveal the darkest side of humanity. In times of crisis, trust disappears, and survival becomes the only thing people care about. Even the people we trust the most can either save us or destroy us. And finally, if anyone believes they can completely escape nature's terrifying power, that may be the greatest mistake of all. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.